What's up, guys? We are heading to the post office to drop off a shirt. So I wanted to take a second in the beginning of this video to send a huge thank you to you guys, to everybody who's ordered a shirt. I mean, I've sent shirts all over the world now, which totally blows my mind. Let me drop this guy in here. John from Florida, your shirt's on the way. Get there. She go. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to take a second and just really thank you guys for all the support and ordering shirts. And I mean, like I was saying, we've sent shirts all over the world. I've sent shirts to Malta, Ireland, the UK, Australia, all over the US, of course. I mean, it's crazy. I created this channel, really started doing it about a year ago, and I didn't expect it to grow. We're still a small channel in YouTube, by YouTube standards, but it's a lot bigger than I thought it would get already. So I want to really thank you guys for all of that. And then the fact that I basically taught myself how to use Adobe Illustrator and made this design, or a couple of designs, and then happened to put them on a shirt, and then now I'm like sending them all over the world, and you guys are tagging me on Instagram wearing your shirt, and it's really incredible. And I just want to thank you guys for that. And anybody who's ordered a shirt already, thank you very much. If you're thinking about it, you can go to classicoctane.com and check them out. No hard feelings if you can't do it or don't want to or whatever. Like they're not there for me to try to make money on or whatever. So just don't feel obligated or anything to do it. But I really appreciate the people who have done it so far. And make sure to tag me, anybody who has a shirt from the first run, or from since I started kind of fulfilling them myself. Tag, wear it out or on your bike or working in your garage or wherever, and tag me on Instagram, because that is literally motivation for me to get out in the garage. So a lot of you have kind of commented on my videos saying that I've helped motivate you to get started on a project or get back into working on one. And I want you guys to know that it goes both ways, that you guys sending me feedback and comments and pictures of the shirts and stuff on Instagram helps me get motivated and stay motivated to keep going on my projects. So thank you very much. So I just realized you guys have no idea what vehicle I'm driving. This is my Jeep. I've never really talked about it on the channel, but I will kind of give you guys the rundown right now. But this doesn't feel like the right place to talk about a Jeep. Okay, this feels better. So this is my 2004 Jeep Wrangler. I bought this really recently. Basically, why I picked this up is because my company moved into a new office in downtown Austin, and Clifford, my big red Dodge, won't fit in the parking garage. It's too tall. So I needed to figure out a vehicle that I could drive to work that would actually fit in the parking garage, and I wasn't about to start driving my wife's Chevy Equinox to work because reasons. So I basically went on this insurance auction site called Copart. You guys who follow channels like B is for Build and some other YouTube channels have probably heard of it before. Basically, it's an insurance website where a lot of vehicles that were crashed or stolen and recovered or vandalized or whatever get sold. And it works just like any other auction. It's all online. You go in, you put a deposit down, and then you can bid on vehicles as you go. So basically that's exactly what I did. I found this online. I was pretty open to a bunch of different vehicles. I wanted something that was fun, that was easy to work on, and that I would enjoy. So basically I was looking at minis, but I couldn't really do the mini thing. And then I was like, okay, well, what's a vehicle that my wife would enjoy too? So I landed on a Jeep, found this one at the lot that's here in Austin. Ended up jumping on when it came up available for auction, bid on it, and won. So I'll throw a picture up right now of what it looked like when I got it. I did have to put all new tires on it. As you can see from that picture, I did have to put a new front fender on it, which this one I bought off Craigslist, and you can see it's a little bit darker. It is from another silver Jeep TJ, but it's a different year, so I guess that's more of a gray and this is a silver. It bugs me a little bit, but for, you know, it was like 50 or 60 bucks on Craigslist. Totally worth it. Even just a bare metal brand new one, unpainted, it was like 80 or 90 bucks. So the fact that I got this with the whole fender flare and everything for like 60 bucks, worth it. I did put new ball joints in it because it was hit on this front end a little bit. So this front tire was flat. It did mess up the ball joints a little bit. This front fender was garbage. The stock front bumper was damaged. But that's pretty much it. I mean, this is the stock hood. You can see it wasn't bad. So that's why I was pretty confident about being able to fix it and get it back on the road without any issues, because, you know, it really wasn't hit very bad. It was just, you know, the way insurance auctions work, or insurance companies work, you know, if they were to have to repair this vehicle, they would have had to repaint the hood because of this scratch and the little cracking around here. So they would have had to totally repaint that, which means they would have had to repaint that fender over there for it to match. They would have had to replace this, paint it obviously, then blend the paint here. And when you get into that kind of detail, the cost just gets really high. And, you know, this being a 13 or so year old vehicle, it was totaled out pretty easily. So I did that. I also had to put a new lower control arm mount in, which I don't know if you can see it or not, but right there, the lower control arm mount, that was a little bit bent, which apparently is pretty common on these off-roading. So they make high quality aftermarket ones that I was able to just cut off the factory one, weld on the new, nicer, stronger one, and get us off and running. I was also able to pick up this bumper off Craigslist for 50 bucks. Just a aftermarket simple bumper. It does have the mount for a winch. I'll never do that. To be completely honest with you, I wasn't even going to talk about this vehicle on the channel because it's not going to be mine for very long. I really just needed to get a vehicle pretty quickly to be able to commute to work. And like I said, the truck wouldn't fit in the parking garage. The Mustang is not ready for daily use yet. So I really just needed something in the meantime. So I'm probably honestly only going to own this for another month or two probably. I wouldn't imagine much longer than that. So I didn't want to bother and kind of cloud the channel with more projects and have you guys think I'm all kinds of scattered and have Triumph and Mustang and all kinds of stuff going on. So that's why I didn't really mention it or didn't really show any of the work on the channel. Sorry if you guys are into Jeeps and you would have wanted to see that. But here she is. And I know I've blabbered on it long enough already, but just wanted to let you guys know why in the world I was driving a Jeep today. So now the goal is to go to the auto parts store and get some oil and an oil filter for the Mustang. Dang it, this doesn't seem to be the way to the auto parts store. Is it up here? Nope, not up here either. Alright, back in the garage now. Today's really just going to be some Mustang maintenance. I got obviously the stuff for the oil change. I got some front shocks I can put on, adjust the brakes, that kind of stuff. I really want to get this closer to being daily driver ready. That way I can end up selling the Jeep and open up those funds for other projects and stuff going on here. So that's what we're going to jump on today. Some people were a little upset when the Mustang started and thought I was giving up on the Triumph or something crazy like that, but that is 100% not the case. So we have a little bit more fabrication I can do on these seat mounts. I'm going to try to actually throw the motor back in. It's still just sitting over here on the bench where we left it last time. I want to throw it back in because I want to start to fabricate up these motor mounts. If you remember when I talked about before, these are actually designed for a little bit earlier of a Triumph. But basically, this one goes on that side, but The idea is it bolts to the back of the motor, and then it's still going to have a piece that runs through this stock mount, kind of similar to that. Obviously, like I said, this one will be on that side, but similar to that, so that I can still use my factory foot pegs, and you know, obviously we have another mount for the motor like it needs. And we're going to have to fabricate up some spacers to make these work. But I'm going to need the engine back in place to figure that out. And with the engine back in place, we can also figure out our chain and figure out if we need to fabricate a chain tensioner and all that kind of stuff. So we want to put the motor back in, finish up all the fabrication. Obviously that's not going to be in this next Triumph video, but get to work on finishing all the fabrication so then we can move on to making it look cool. And I mean, hell, I'd really love to ride this thing sometime in the not too distant future. I have a couple of events I'm going to take it to here in Austin in November. So I'm just going to throw this out there now. I'll mention it in a Triumph specific video too for those guys that are into the Triumph that aren't necessarily watching this video. But it's going to be in November. There's the Twist Off, which is hosted by the same people, Rival Cycles, that host the Hand-Built Motorcycle Show I went to in April. This is like a drag racing event on dirt. I want to race the Triumph there. And I also want to take it to the Harvest Classic, which is another like a motorcycle show here a little bit south of Austin. That's all classic bikes, and I'd really love to ride it out there as well. So cool, let's get to work on the Mustang. First order of business is going to be spark plugs. Spark plugs are done. It's just like confirmed my love for working on classic cars. Everything is just so accessible and just they're so easy to work on. It's awesome just to be able to see it. I mean, I've changed, you know, hundreds of spark plugs on newer cars. There, I changed it on my wife's Equinox, and it took me easily 2 hours because everything's buried behind plastic and around underneath, you know, all kinds of junk. And then on these cars, I mean, we're literally just right there. All 8 of them right there on the side. 10-minute job. I am going to order a cap and rotor. I forgot about that, to be completely honest with you, when I was at the parts store. So I'll probably do a full set of wires, a cap, and a rotor, just for maintenance stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and knock out the oil change. I'm going to fire it up, 1, to make sure the spark plugs are all good, and 2, when you do an oil change, the oil doesn't need to be super hot, but if it's at least a little bit warm, it'll flow out of the engine a lot better, and you'll get you know, more oil out in a shorter amount of time. And it's just a good idea to have a, you know, do an oil change on a warm engine. So we're gonna fire it up, check our work, and get it warmed up for the oil change. Right, moment of truth. I haven't honestly started this car in probably 2 weeks. So there's a possibility the battery's dead. There's a possibility of fire right up. I don't know. God's honest truth, it's a full-blown cold start, so we're gonna go 3 pumps and cross our fingers. Come on, baby. Oh, battery's a little tired. Give it a couple more pumps. Oh. Oh yeah. Have the oil draining and the filter off. If you guys don't have one of these oil filter wrenches, definitely go out and buy one. I mean, most kind of mechanic guys will have one of these already, but this thing is a lifesaver. Basically, it just clips around the oil filter and lets you untighten it for the people before you that were full-blown Hercules and put the filter on. Filters don't need to be that tight. I mean, basically as tight as you can get it with your bare hands is generally good enough. It's the next day. I have one more thing I want to knock out on the Mustang for this video, and that is the front shocks. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those off and get them swapped out. So pulling the shocks off on these are super easy. Basically, there's 2 1/2-inch bolts on the bottom. You don't even have to lift the car up to get them out. Then there's the 2 bolts on the top of the shock tower. I'll show you this one. So 2 bolts on the top of the shock, and then you do have to take that little cup off like this, which is just 3, I think they're 9/16 bolts. And then you can see straight down in there, goes right through the middle of the spring, and that's where the 2 studs on the shock go down. So we have the new shock right over here ready to go. Just need to throw on the little rubber boots, slide it down in there, then we have another little boot and a washer, and then the nut on the bottom, and then we're going to reuse the bolts for the top. But super easy, don't even have to lift the car up, pull a couple bolts off, pull it out. You don't have to worry about it falling or shooting out or anything like that, because the spring is what's holding the weight of the car, not the shock. Alright, front shocks are all done. Super easy job. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's been a little bit weird back and forth kind of videos, but I'm going to be totally transparent with you guys. Out here working in the garage is my escape from my normal day-to-day 9-to-5 job, and I'm finding myself getting a little bit stressed out about, like, am I going to do a video about the Triumph? Am I going to do one about the Mustang? Am I going to, like, what's the schedule going to be like? And to be honest with you, I would kind of rather just get out here and work on what I want to work on, make a video about it, share it with you guys. So that being said, I'm going to continue to follow along with both projects just like I have been, but the schedule isn't going to be like Triumph one day, a couple days later Mustang, then Triumph again. There may be 2 or 3 Mustang videos in a row, then a couple of Triumph videos. You could not see the Triumph for 2 weeks, or vice versa, or whatever. So I kind of want to just be able to get out here and work on, whatever it is I want to do. I have a few other things I want to do to the Mustang. I have brand new seat covers in this box right here. So brand new seat covers to replace, mainly I just want to replace the driver's side one. The passenger side one is in really good shape. So I'll do the driver's side first, and if they match, then I'll just keep the passenger side one in case I ever need it later. But that's the reason I'm replacing it, is it does have tears in it. So we'll be doing that coming up soon. I have this whole molding on the side down here is sitting right over there, so we need to do that. Then I have the leak. There's a small water leak through this cowl vent, which is what this kit right here in this bag is to fix, so I want to do that too. And then of course we have the Triumph, which it's time for me to put the motor back in and do some fabrication on that. So there's a lot of stuff still to do, but like I said, I want to kind of do it at my own pace or cadence or whatever you want to call it, just based on kind of how I'm feeling that day. So I hope you guys don't mind. It'll be more content for you guys that way, because I won't have to wait or have to push one project back because I want to keep the schedule. Anyway, it's my long roundabout way of saying bunch of videos coming, but they might be in weird orders and might kind of skip around a little bit. Hope you guys don't mind. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for a whole heck of a lot more projects like I just mentioned. Make sure to check out the website. Huge thank you again to everyone who has already ordered shirts. It's incredibly awesome. Anybody who has a shirt, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. I love seeing that kind of stuff. It's huge motivation for me. So cool. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything in the comments below, and we'll see you soon.